Evening, fellow zombies. Are we alive yet? Are we awake? It's only 7:16 at night. It's 5:25, 2024. We got one more day before Memorial Day kicks in. This is the Zombie Weaver, John City, Roseman, California. But sometimes I'll be switching this over to format of the diary of the griever named John Weaver, which is me. We had a bit of a smoke out this afternoon. Around, what was it, around 2? Yeah, around 2 or 3 o'clock. There was a truck dragging something heavy, struck a rock, created a spark, I guess. Because now we got about 360 some odd acres burnt to a crisp out in west area of Roseman, California. So, fellow zombies, if you've got your maps app of any sort, may I ask you to switch it over to Google? Now, in the California state fire area that we have, it's Cal Fire basically. They have an incident map. So if you've got uh, another window to get to, I always suggest you get over to the fire.california.gov and check out the incidents that we actually had. California Fire keeps track of all the fires happening up and down, and we've had some burns. We had some burns. They call it the Holiday Fire because it was right by Holiday Avenue, out in Kern. It's at about 397.5, and they haven't quite updated the map yet. But from what I'm reading on social media, they got it out. They just haven't updated the major map of what we've been looking at. And it depresses the hell out of me. It depresses the hell out of me in that area. It is a large area that we had. It's right by Roseman Boulevard. And a couple of structures are burned. Actually, about 2 or 3 of them. I don't know if they got the fire out or not. But from what I heard, they think they have. And they were calling for evacuations. The winds had died down over the past couple of hours, so it's not that blowing hard. But hours ago, it was blowing very hard. And for a fire that started up in one particular area, it sure picked up and went nuts on it. Welcome to Roseman. It just depressed the crap out of me. I didn't hear any fire engines because all the fire engines were being sent over to west end of Roseman. Somewhere in there, I think we had another fire station, they said. I only know of one. That takes care of the town proper, but since this was in an area where it was Holiday Avenue where it started, it just flamed out like crazy and destroyed a lot of property and chewed up a lot of ground. There were a lot of property, a lot of brush, and homes were indeed threatened, and homes were warned to evac. Still, it's a message and a warning to all of us who live in the desert regions that we have to pay attention to the area and regions that we live in. And we have to pay attention to the weather reports because they can change like crazy. Now, we have the severe storm systems happening in the Midwest, moving eastward, and they are heavy winds and rain, tornado activity left and right. A lot of tornado activity they've been having since the beginning of the month, since the beginning of the year. I lost track, and I worry about certain areas because I have friends and family out there. Believe it or not, I got bloodline out in Ohio, and I'm supposed to have family extended out in Texas, Cedar Park area. I'm hoping they got out okay. I'm hoping they didn't have any tornado activity, but the way the storms are moving, you got dry lines happening when you have colliding pressures and moisture. So that kind of worried me out a bit. After that little news story there was also something about the relative of mine out in Ohio that we had a bit of a disagreement with. As said before in my other videos, I don't take much back. I don't take almost anything back. If I got a point to make, I'm making it, and that's my point. I may be prideful. If I'm going to get corrected information, then I'll correct it if I feel it needs correcting. And what drives me crazy is a corrected information that I actually had was this holiday of Memorial Day weekend is supposed to be for the veterans. Monday is supposed to be exclusively for veterans, apparently. I lost a veteran, but not to wars. I lost a veteran because of medical conditions happened to him that took his life. And because it's in the same week as my brother's birthday, if he was still alive, makes it even harder. If I understand Memorial Weekend, it's usually in the last week of May. Usually on a Monday, I think. They make it a 3-day holiday if they can. Floating around. But we're supposed to be celebrating the veterans who passed away. Okay. Are we talking about the ones who passed away from combat? Are we talking about the ones who committed suicide? Are we talking about the ones who committed have been taken away by death and disease? Or by tragedies? Other than combat? How are we supposed to honor these veterans? How are we supposed to honor these people? Family members taken away. How are we supposed to honor them? In what way, form, or function does Memorial Day weekend tell us that we have to honor only those who have sacrificed themselves, and that's about it? Well, what about the veterans who had sacrificed themselves but not in the form of combat? Like getting a bullet ripped into their body and tearing them apart. How about the combat inside their head? Did we ever stop to think about that one? Did we ever stop to think that the veterans have been taking their lives left and right since we began trying to record all this combat fatigue, battle fatigue, whatever they would switch it to? These days it's PTSD. That they leave the battle zone itself, the physical part, but they still take the battle with them inside their head. And for some reason or another, they pop their corks. So in what way, form, or fashion do we not honor these guys? Was it not proper? Because these guys are not even getting the ones that they need. I mean, getting the help that they need at this point over here before they pop the corks. And what's worse, they don't get honored afterwards. Oh my God, he committed suicide. That's so heinous. That's against society. They don't get the flag. They don't get a red, white, and blue piece of cloth to cover their casket before they're lowered into the ground. And surviving relatives don't get this piece of cloth. It's supposed to have meaning. It's supposed to have substance. There's supposed to be something, right? I wonder. And I challenge it. I challenge this damn tradition they got. Because we've got too many people being affected by it. We got family members popping their corks because the survivors of the war popped their corks. Did you ever think about that one? But they don't get honored. Oh, hell no. Suicide, stigma, God forbid. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter because on a Memorial Day like this, we're supposed to be memorializing those who have fallen. Yeah, how? Is this strictly for the military option only? And nobody else? We can't do it for firefighters? Oh, yeah, we can do it for firefighters if they were in service. Okay, how about caregivers? Oh, well, I'm not quite sure about caregivers. Well, why not? What's wrong with caregiving? What's wrong with caregiving? We don't get honored as much. We don't get a day off left and right. We don't get a holiday. We get we get like a National Cookie Day kind of day for a caregiver. That's an insult. Because the people who put it on the line to care for relatives, family members, those that served in the military, but also those that didn't serve in the military. And that's what pisses me off sometimes. So yeah, I don't take back the videos and I don't take back the stuff I said because it also affects me a great deal. I got a brother's birthday coming up. A dead brother's birthday. And I've been very close to my brother. His name was David Shaw. Stroke took his ass out. Several of them, in fact, many strokes. They call it transischemic attacks. It's still affecting the brain. And the result of that killed my brother. They called it respiratory. Hell, something nailed his ass because his immune system was so damn weak. He comes home from having blood sugar spike, and then he goes back in as a corpse to the hospital. And nobody caught on to the damn thing. It didn't matter. He was still dead. He was still dead. He mattered a great deal to me. He mattered a great deal to me. Had an argument with a family member on this one. She still wants to see it as memorial for the veterans. I got to try understanding her point. She's got to also understand my point. I had a veteran who was also suffering through a hell of a lot of crap. And he still died. And on Memorial Day, I value him, but I also value him as my brother, relative, and spiritual. So Memorial Day weekend for me is still memorializing my dead brother. It's hard enough. His birthday is coming up a little after the day of memorial, but the weekend still sucks because I'm still stuck in that kind of situation. It's not that easy dealing as a survivor of these kind of things. We have to memorialize. We have to remember. Yeah, we remember with a hell of a lot of pain, grief, and anguish. A hell of a lot of depression. Doctors prescribing, or we go for prescriptions ourselves. They get rid of the damn pain. We'll never get rid of the damn pain that way. You just have to deal with it. And it sucks dealing with it. I will call Memorial Day a memorial for everything and everybody we lost. Our hopes, our dreams, our past, our futures, our lives. Lives change irrevocably. Can't go back because things have changed. Dynamics have changed. Everything has changed. Viewpoints definitely changed. I don't feel patriotism. Not on a day like this. I know there are people who have bled and died for the country and for other countries. Do I not memorialize them either? Or is this strictly just for U.S. only? See, this is the kind of chauvinistic thinking I don't like these days because I'm getting more and more questioning about a lot of things that I took for granted. So now I got a question. I have to question whether or not this is legitimate or not. I have to question family. I have to question friends. I have to question everybody. What the hell do you think about Memorial Day is to you? What is so damn important about this damn day that we only have to memorialize a certain amount of only a certain type of people, and that's about it. But nobody else, nothing else, nothing else matters. Nothing else matters that we feel that matters the most. We got students protesting death in a country that's happening there. Well, we don't give a shit about that. We only give a shit about the country that got theoretical that didn't get, well, it did get violated, but now doing genocidal work. And genocidal work happening in another continent. We got people dying all over the damn place. Just what are we memorializing? Memories I know of the fallen and how much they meant to us. We memorialize dead celebrities and sports figures. Maybe certain political figures. But what does it mean personally? And I already stated what it meant to me personally in those videos I did. I'm not taking those damn things back. I'm not changing my viewpoint as that strictly for a cadre, for an elite group. I'm sorry. I feel it's different. Because to me, it is personal. I have a birthday of a brother that's not here to celebrate his birthday because he's been dead several years. Coming up in September, he'll be dead 6 years. I'm 58 years old. And I lost my big brother several years ago. And I've been with him most of my life. It's a hell of a bond you can't break. I've been through hell in a handbasket with this asshole. And I'll say it again, he was an asshole. He was a smart ass. He was jackass, but he was still a good man, and he cared, and he gave a shit. I don't give a flying fuck about the language right now. I care but how I feel and how I think. Others probably will celebrate the memorial holiday just for the veterans only. That's their right, that's their prerogative. That's not mine. Because I had too many dead bodies in my life that I never memorialized. Too many people I've lost that I cared about a great deal. And I never did memorials for them. I did nothing to memorize them or remember them. Not as much. And unfortunately, I've been digging around my stuff and I can't find my armbands. Ticks me off. Ticks me off. There was one place that I didn't even bother checking, even though it was right in front of me. In fact, I still don't have the damn thing. Well, I don't know about this damn thing. Okay. I thought I was going to be. Well, apparently not. So basically, I'm not going to do the armband. I was remembering that there may have been one more place for it, but it wasn't it. I also discovered old things that needed to be tossed out. That's the thing about my memories is I don't like tossing them out. I don't like to get rid of them in any way, shape, or form. Because they mean a great deal to me. And I don't know what else I can say about that. Maybe I'm too much of a fool and idiot at that point. Maybe I'm not supposed to. I don't know. But the only thing I do know, in a holiday I'm dealing with right now, I get the waves and I have to talk about them. But it may piss people off a little bit because, or maybe more, because they don't want to deal with it. That's on them, that's not me. What I'm doing right now is I'm trying to deal and cope with what I've got. Not the easiest thing. High energy bars. Aren't they fun? There they are. The millenniums. I remember those damn things. Going to MREs of old. And these things will be there and they're. Ugh. But they're not that bad. Once you get used to the damn taste of them. New millennium bars. What's that got to do with anything? Not a damn thing, because I was just testing an old bar of mine and wish to God I hadn't. But for me, it's got nothing to do with what I've been talking about. It's just a bit of a. It was something I was going into in my head concerning about an old piece of food, and basically, I was having a conniption fit. I really was. So now, I look back at what I'm dealing with, and I'm asking myself questions. The holiday. Why am I making such a big deal about it? It's only because I am making a big deal about it. I am making a big deal. It's important for me. My brother didn't pass away because of combat. A lot of things added up to him and made him think and do things that were out of his mind, basically. And he was a good man. He struggled with alcohol and drugs after the military. He died clean and sober. He helped out a lot of people. If I can remember and hold on to those memories, I can. But I also have to remember the memories that I keep holding on to also have pain because of how much love I still felt for him. It's necessary for me to hold on to him, despite the drawback is the pain. So if I want to hold it, I'm going to hold on to pain. And it will change my perspective and perception of things around me. Maybe some people can't understand that. That's going to be up to them, not me. All I know is he meant the world to me. I view Memorial Day, I'll say it again, not just for the fallen in battle on a foreign battlefield or even on our own battlefield here. It's the battlefield in here and in here. Battlefield of age, of disease, of insanity. And those that are close to us. Who haven't served, but had served those who had served. Those who go out in the street, fight crime, fight fires, service people the best they can. We memorialize them as well. We honor them. But we also have to memorialize ourselves as well. Because we have lost. And it hurts. And their memories need to be shared as well. Their stories need to be told. Need to be exalted heroes like the ones who talk about in Valhalla. So, if I am stepping over toes, wear steel toe shoes next time.